Hello and welcome to the Corona Yoga Challenge, and today is day 33. So day 33, the NHS continues to work stoically under pressure, and we hopefully are continuing to stay at home and support the system as best as we can. Please, before you go ahead, check my website for health issues, support and advice and other videos, just so that you've got everything that you need to be practicing safely. And today we are going to be doing a little bit of lying down yoga. So if you want to bring yourself onto your back into a nice comfortable space. So first of all, you're just going to get yourself comfortable on the floor. So lift your hips, settle them down so that the back of the pelvis spreads and widens onto the floor. And then lift the shoulders a touch, and again let the shoulders spread and widen onto the floor, and then let just your arms rest comfortably beside you. You're going to bring your knees up and over your chest, and you're going to start to rock back and forth with your knees. So knees are coming towards you and away from you. So as you're doing this, you're going to start to do this with your breathing. So you're going to breathe in one way, breathe out the other. And usually it's helpful to breathe out as the knees come in, because the knees help compress the air out of you. It's really important that as you're breathing out and as the knees are coming in, that the pelvic floor is lifting as well. So the pelvic floor isn't coming down when we press or when the tummy comes down. It's very important that the pelvic floor and the tummy are working together. And then the next time that your knees come in towards you, you're just going to keep them cozied in. You're going to draw your arms around your knees, and you're going to draw your knees in towards you so that the tailbone just gently lifts. You're going to take your feet onto the floor, and you're going to let one leg lift up towards the ceiling. And you're just going to try and get it to float above your hips. So it's straight above your hips, so it's not coming towards you or away from you. You're going to let your hands just rest and be comfortable. And you're going to work with a feeling of lengthening up through your heel and down through the hip that's on the floor. And then we're going to swap over, so other leg is going to lift up. Same thing, the heel is ideally angled more or less underneath over the hip. The knee can be much more bent than this if you need. And you're just going to let your back of your leg stretch out. You're going to come to your first side again. You're going to let your leg lengthen up. And then you're going to draw your thigh in towards you, and you're going to bend your knee, but your foot is still going as if it's going to go stand up on the ceiling. So the knee is coming slightly wide towards your armpit so that you feel that there's space for you to move and space for the hip joint to work easily. And then we're going to swap over to the other side. So first of all, the leg lengthens up. And then the knee bends in towards you, and the knee comes slightly wide of your torso. Sole of the foot extends up towards the ceiling, and our breathing stays nice and relaxed. And then if you settle both feet onto the floor, we're going to do a lying eagle pose from here. So you're going to let your arms come wide, you're going to let both legs lift up, and you're going to take your legs wide and then cross. So we're just going to cross back and forth a couple of times, and then you're going to let your right leg cross over the top, and you're crossing your thighs as high up as is comfortable for you, so you can roll your top leg around the back of the other one, and then maybe both legs can come down towards the floor. So it might be that your legs are wider or doing something slightly different, so let them feel good and let your back feel good. Whilst we're here again, very, very even through the back of the pelvis, very even across the back of the shoulders. You're now going to cross your arms, and the leg that's over the top, you're going to have the opposite arm over the top. So first of all, you're just going to make a great big cross. Then you're going to bring your arms towards one another, and then you're going to see if the palms can join. So we come into eagle pose when we're lying on our back, and it's a really nice way of feeling that evenness through the back of your body. You can think about gently extending your feet away from you and your hands up and overhead, keeping the forearms and the lower legs parallel to the floor if possible. And then bring your knees and your elbows in towards one another, And then we're going to undo. So we're going to let the arms and the legs come out and give your feet a little bit of a turn around, let your shoulders move if you would like. And then we're going to come to the opposite side. So to start with, we're just going to crisscross the legs so as wide or as narrow as you would like. And then this time the left leg is going to come over the top or the other one. So we're crossing the legs as high up as is comfortable. The top leg is rolling round the back of the other one and the legs can lengthen out a bit. And then we're going to bring the arms into it. So the arms are going to cross. So the top arm is going to be the one that's the opposite side to the top leg. Might be that your arms just cross like this, or they bend in a little bit or a lot. Settle the back of the body on the floor so it feels nice and wide and comfortable. And then thinking about extending the hands up and overhead, the legs away from you. As this happens, the tummy is slightly drawing back and the pelvic floor always is gently lifting up rather than pushing out. You're going to bring your knees in towards your elbows so the elbows and knees come close. And then you're going to undo your arms and your legs. You're going to give your hands and your legs a little bit of a move around. And then if you settle your feet onto the floor, so nice settled feet so that they're easy and comfortable, the back of the body rests. And then we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet. So we're right up on the balls of the feet, so we've got a feeling of lift up through the lower legs. Open body stays easy. And then if you bring your right hand onto your tummy and you're going to bring your legs over towards the left. So you're just going to rock onto one side or towards one side, so your knees can be floating off the floor or they can be resting onto the floor, but make sure that your feet are still making some contact with the ground and that the feet stay a little bit active, so we're not trying to flop into it, so a little bit of activity. And then your top elbow is just going to roll back towards the floor, so we start to become aware of the diagonal through the hip that's down on the ground, up and across to the opposite shoulder. And it might be that your hand is happy to extend out onto the floor, or it might be that you prefer it on your body. So just go with whichever feels good for you and feels that you can breathe easily and be happy here. Make your feet a little bit active, bring your knees up towards the centre, and then bring your other hand onto the side of your waist. Roll your knees over in the opposite direction, so again either a little bit or a lot. Elbow can slide back onto the floor behind you. Maybe the hand will comfortably come out. And again we're doing that same thing, down through the hip that's on the ground, that's grounded and steady, then up and over the chest and down to the opposite elbow. So we get an opening and a spreading and widening. Breathe easy. Keep that little bit of activity in the feet and the hands. And then bring your knees back to the centre. And bring your knees in and towards your chest. So a nice close cuddle in so that the lower back lengthens. And then if you bring yourself onto your side, and then up to sitting. And if you bring yourself to just comfortable sitting, I'm just going to have to plug my computer in now because it says it's got 2%, so give me one moment. So, computer is plugged in, disaster averted. If you want to bring yourself to comfortable sitting so that you can do some breathing, so just how you feel that you can get that feeling of that little lift forwards through the pelvic bones so that the back of the body can relax and become easy. And then you're going to bring one hand towards your heart. So when we're breathing in, this is where the kind of low rib cage area and the tummy is where we breathe when we're most relaxed. And then we breathe into the rib cage and the centre of the body when we are more active. And then right the way up to the collarbones when we are doing our kind of most extreme breathing. So for fight or flight or really busy or really active. They're all good places to breathe. When we are doing breathing, when we're focusing on the area of the heart, it's not that we're trying to expand the heart particularly physically, but we're centering our feeling of breathing in this area. So you will still be breathing into the low belly area and all the way up to the collarbones. So we're looking for a nice full breath all around the body rather than one particular area. So all you're going to do when you're doing your breathing today is you're just going to imagine that your heart and the space around your heart, if you imagine it's like this, can just gently expand a little bit. So your heart has got a little bit more space to move into within your rib cage. And as you imagine that feeling of a little bit more space, you're going to get the feeling that there's a kind of almost like a radiation or a radiant energy that expands around your heart area. And then let your breathing come back to normal. So if you're wanting a challenge, my challenge for you today is to do some meditation. So whether that's a little walk, let's make the challenge today a walking meditation. So that means walking so slowly that you feel the earth beneath your feet, you feel the movements of your feet. And you might have to do it somewhere inside your house so that nobody else can see if you're feeling self-conscious. But try to spend just a minute or maybe more if it feels good, just walking so slowly. So whether you're on a carpet and you just really feel the carpet and the movement of your feet, or whether you're on grass and you can feel the undulating texture of the grass beneath your feet or the ground beneath your feet, so that you're allowing yourself to become really present in that moment. That's what the slowness isn't about. It's not about being slow for the sake of it. It's to become really aware of what you're experiencing and being really present in that experience. When I think about it for myself, I think about it doing it on the grass outside and then becoming really present as I stand on a prickly thing, because for some reason we've got a lot of prickly things in our grass at the moment, which is leading to some interesting moments, but I think particularly interesting if I try to do a meditative walk on it. And my quote for you today, I should say, if you do like the videos, do feel free to like and share them or subscribe on YouTube so that other people can find them. And my quote for you today is from Ram Dass. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise. I hope you have a good day, and I would love you to have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye. 13 minutes.